I'm like, thank you. All right, cool. We're gone. We're live. Hey, everybody. Gosh, I was like, my face is like totally red. It's cold. It's freaking cold outside. I was walking and I started my walk late. We're not, I don't want to hear it. I started my walk late. So that was why I'm late. And then I also had to take the trash up and it's like up a hill. So I have to like drag the trash up the hill. So I was like, So, and I was like, I was trying to get myself and then I'm still cold and I'm like, I don't have time to change. I'm just gonna have to jump on there. So, hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hey, Xtina. All right, you don't know cold. Oh, well, it's like, well, here it's, let's see. It's like, right now it was like 30 degrees around there. A few nights ago, it was in the teens. Last year, we got down into like almost zero. So I don't know if it's 26. See, we're comparable because I mean, like we're in the high desert. So like here in New Mexico in the high desert, it gets cold. Even during the summertime, when it's during the summer, usually it gets down to like maybe like the low 50s in the summertime in the night, just because it's the high desert. Even though like in Albuquerque, which is just like an hour away, they usually will go down into like the 70s or something. But here it's a bit cooler because we're higher in altitude. So it gets colder here. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're cold. Yeah, I was cold. So right now when I went out, I don't even know what the temperature was, but when I left, it was 34. And of course, as the sun goes down, it gets colder and colder and colder. And the ice was starting to like all of the ice, because it snowed this morning. So it snowed, and then it was like ice that fell, and then it was kind of raining, so we didn't know what the hell was going on this morning. But there was ice forming all everywhere. I was like, I gotta go, because you can slip, and I busted my ass here before, so I know I have to like watch what I'm doing. So hey everybody, okay, so I know you're like, are we doing readings or talking? Give me a minute, let me catch my breath, let me get myself there. I haven't eaten today yet, so I'm gonna have a quick little Yorkshire peppermint patty just to kind of get some sugar in me, because I need some energy, and I don't want to just rely on like caffeine. So give me 1 second. Let me just kind of get this in my system. Oh, that's so good. Your peppermint patties are really good. It's probably unhealthy, but you know, it's fine. That's fine. All right. Okay, so for those of you who are new to my lives, this is your opportunity to ask me your questions. So you can ask me whatever you want to ask me about. You can ask me about your life. If you have a question about your life, be specific. What is your question about? Because just say, I want a reading, or what messages do you have for me, or what am I supposed to know, or those are like not questions. Those are just statements. I need to know what you want to ask me about. So just get to the point. So ask me the specific questions. So what do you want to know about? So if you want to know about your job or career situation, what exactly do you want to know? You want to know about your finances? What exactly do you want to know? If you want to know about your health, what exactly do you want to know? If you want to know about your relationships or relationship, what exactly do you want to know? Just asking for like a reading. Don't have the time to do a full reading. Sometimes people, even like a 15-minute, because I have 15-minute Q&As with people, which is like an offering that I have on the site. And sometimes people are like, okay, well, what do you have to tell me? I'm like, I don't know. You're the one that booked it. You have 15 minutes with me. So ask me what you want to know. Like if we were going to do a full 30-minute live reading, I would go into detail, but I don't have that. I have 15 minutes with you. So what do you want to know? Let's bust through it. Let's get through the questions. Because I can get through it fairly quickly. So, but those of you who are new, this is your chance to ask me about that. If you want to connect with the loved one in spirit, who do you want me to connect to? And I'll try to connect and see if I can get through any information or anything that can help you to know that they are still with you. If you want to be on camera, get over to Instagram, because that's where I'm doing the video connections. And so you'll have to request it also. So right down here, there's a little like button. Click that, and then you can request to be a guest on video. And then I will go through partway through the live, and then I'll pick some people to come on as video guests as well. I'm almost to 1,000 on TikTok. I still have about 200 more people, and then I'll be at my 1,000, and then I'll be doing lives on TikTok as well. So I'll be doing lives here. And we're on Facebook as well. We're on YouTube as well. We're on Twitter as well, but then we'll also be doing lives through TikTok as well. So it'll be an interesting experience, and we'll see how that works out. So that'll be an interesting thing, right? All right, so let's get started. Of course, as usual, my statements are personal opinions, not guaranteed future events. Whatever decisions or actions you take, you are 100% responsible and liable for those. You can change your future. It's never set in stone. And I'm not a licensed medical doctor, counselor, attorney, or law enforcement official. For legal medical advice or treatment, please consult a licensed professional. And that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. If you want to know about me, my work, and what do I offer, go to my website, fernandomarone.com. Be careful of scammers. They like to pretend to be me. They will message you, ask you if you want a reading, and then they will ask you for money. I don't do that. I don't go asking for people to purchase services. I just make it available. People can go to it or go to my website or come to me for the session. I don't go to people. That's an agreement I have with God, so that's why I don't do that. So what else? I have free stuff going on. So I have a free session I'm giving away this month. So one-on-one private session with me. You can get your pick of either having a full life reading, which is 30 minutes long. You can have a spirit communication or mediumship session with me, or you can have a spiritual guidance and coaching session. It's just depending on what you want. But those are options available. I am giving one away this month. You get to pick the one you want. In order to do that, I need you to do 3 things. I need you to go ahead and tag a friend down here. So you put at whoever. So tag a friend, send this video out, send it out to people that you know, whether it be, all your people or just some people, it doesn't matter, whoever you send it out to. And then also sign up for my newsletter at my website, fernandomarone.com. So, and it's my Dear Ferny newsletter. You can just scroll down and it's right there. Okay. All right. So let's get going here because I don't want to spend too much time here just chit-chatting, and I don't want to catch up here. So I'm not going in any particular order. I try to pick different people every single time I do this. But some people get lucky and they still get their questions answered. Renee Robinson, any messages from my grandma? So Renee, a couple of things. One is I keep seeing a mug or a cup. So I don't know if you have a special mug or a cup or like a tumbler that you associate with her, but I'm seeing something like that because I feel like I want to take a drink and I feel like it's got to be in something like this. She also keeps it, thank you. She's doing this as well. I don't know if you have a shirt of hers that says like World's Best Grandma, or if y'all have shirts from her that talk about like grandma's like grandchildren or my grandchildren, something like that. But she's doing this. So there might be a shirt that might be referencing that because it might have words on it. That's what I'm thinking. She also keeps acknowledging the number 7. I'm sorry, 7. The 9, I'm believing the 9, because I was seeing September in my mind. Unless it's September 7th, then that would make sense. But I'm thinking this is 9. So the month of September or the 9th of a month may be significant as well. Okay. Ladybugs are going to be a sign from her as well. So look out for the ladybugs because I do think that she will send those to you. Either that or there's a nick. Guys, if you start a question with what can you tell me with, that is asking for a full reading. I need y'all to condense it. What exactly do you want to know? Because if you ask what can you tell me, I'm like, I have no idea what you want to know. And I'm probably might not even give you the answer you're looking for or answer the question you're wanting to know. If someone wants to know, hey, Ferny, is this bout of diarrhea going to go anytime soon? But you ask me, what do you want to know about, what can you tell me about my digestive system? Like, I may say, oh, well, you probably are low and you probably need to work on your probiotics and you also probably aren't absorbing enough nutrients or something like that. But you may be wondering, but is the diarrhea going to go away? I don't know. You didn't ask me about that. You asked me like, what? So you don't assume I know everything. People will always want to assume psychics know everything. We do not. We sense things. There's a big difference. So I need you to be specific with your questions. Yeah. Amy McDaniel. Hey, love. First off, I want to say thank you for what you do. You're the best. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that. And do you have any messages for me from my mom? She's been on my mind and I miss her. Yes. So 2 things. One is, excuse me, there is a butterfly energy around it. So I want to say that I'm seeing butterflies. It's interesting because I'm seeing butterflies, not just a butterfly. So that can mean a couple of things. Automatically, I would assume that she's acknowledging like a butterfly as being a symbol. So look out for butterfly symbols from her. But I keep seeing more than one. So I actually think that there might be other versions of butterflies, like butterflies in art, butterflies on a shirt, butterflies on a card, butterflies that have to do with mom. So to look out for those, because I feel like that's also going to be a symbolic sign as well, besides just the living butterfly. So be aware of that. Another thing that she's making reference to, where she either was laid to rest or where her remains are, I almost feel like someone might have tried to do something kind of like, I would say festive, or put something next to this that would be kind of festive. Like if I were going to put like you know how sometimes people will go and decorate the area, or they'll put like some stuff for Easter or Christmas. Like she's showing me something like this. So there might be a reference to that as well. She also is acknowledging the number 15th, as the 15th of a month may be significant, or January 5th. She also keeps acknowledging the 27th, so the 27th of a month may be significant as well, or February 7th. And of course, it's the 27th of a month, any month, or February 7th, because that's the way I would interpret the numbers as well. I'm hearing like a lot of dinging, almost like chimes, but I don't know if these are actually chimes or these are types of these like chimes or bells or something that has that sound or tone to it that you might associate to, or there may be a significance to as well. I'm hearing the tones, so I want to say that these are things that actually you can still hear from time to time, or may come up from time to time as well. I'm smelling smoke, so I don't know if she was a smoker or there's another male with her who's a smoker, because I'm smelling smoke. I'm almost reminded of my Uncle Nick, because I keep thinking of my Theo Nick or my Uncle Nick or Nicholas. So the name Nick might be significant, or it's a male who might have had some issues with his respiratory system or his lungs, and possibly even had some lung cancer. But there's a reference there as well. Okay, and it's also a person that's with her in spirit. Let me go around here. Family 3K mama. Hey, Ferny, am I in the right career? I feel like you're probably not. Of course, it's your life, your decision. You get to choose what you want to do, right? I don't think that you're going to stay in the same career past this year. I actually think that, when I say past this year, I mean 2022. So what I would say is that I feel like with the career path that you're on, or what you're doing, you'll stick with it until 2022 or the end of 22, and then after that, you're changing again. I also think you're going to have 2 months of education or training, probably in 2022, but it may roll over into 2023 as well. But I feel like you are going to be changing. Also, even though you might be, I feel like at some point you're going to end up becoming more involved with a type. Doesn't mean it's exactly what you wouldn't automatically think. A type of social service, but I feel like it has to do with it might have more to do with the older people or with children, because I'm seeing children or older people, but there's like a social service or something like that you may be more involved with or get more into at some point after that point. Okay. John's 3666 is my son around me at all? Absolutely. So the first thing that I would say, he is, it's interesting, he is doing this. So there might be a necklace or something that is engraved or in a necklace that is connected, because I'm seeing this. I also keep acknowledging, it's funny because I want to do this. So there might be a thumb picture, or an image that has to do with like a thumb or a thumb picture, because I'm seeing the thumb. So I'm trying to figure out what that means. So if he's in a picture, he's doing this or whatever, that may be where he's going with that. He also keeps, thank you. So I feel like I want to put something over my mouth, and I almost feel like I'm also trying to breathe. So I'm not sure if there was difficulty breathing with your son, or if there was some challenges with being able to take a full breath or oxygen getting in and getting to the brain, because I almost feel like something feels a little bit off to me with this. He also is acknowledging the number 7, so the 7th of a month may be significant, or the month of July may be connected as well. Okay. Christina Brown, will I find love again anytime soon? So here's the thing, right? I go into my rants when people ask me about love, because that's the area that's like my pet peeve. Whenever people ask me about love, not that I don't mind answering your question, I don't mind at all. I'm just saying, like, usually there's more to it than just the question. In other words, when people ask me, will I find love again, or will I ever find love? Usually there's more going on behind the scenes that has to do with the individual and their energy than they realize. And what I would say to you is, I do think that, to answer your question, I do feel like you will have love again. Here, you're gonna hate the answer though. It might take almost 7 years before you end up in a relationship that you would be satisfied with, or that would work for you. that you would stick with. So it might take almost 7 years before that happens. However, that doesn't mean there's nothing from now until 7 years. It just means it might take 7 years before you're established in a relationship that I would say is going to stick. I do see another potential relationship that you could say is love in about 3 to 4 years with someone's by the name of A. If their name starts with an A, maybe even AR. I don't feel great about that relationship. I almost feel like when people are asking the universe for love, you better be careful what you're asking for, because I loved my ex and he put me through it. And that was a toxic relationship. Love is easy. Love is an easy thing to experience. It's the definition of what kind of love are you looking for? Because I know people who have love, but they are toxic as hell and they don't need to be together. And so you want to be real intentional with what you're looking for. I do think that you need to do a little bit of inner work, just because I think that would help you along. There's a really good book by Cheryl Richardson. It's called The Art of Extreme Self-Care. You need to learn to love yourself and do enough for yourself so that you don't need or are desperate for love from other people, because that will alleviate some of the pressure that we tend to put on new relationships and new people in our lives. Secondly, it'll make it easier for the universe to line you up with more loving experiences. I know it sounds crazy and kind of backwards, but it is what it is. The moment that I stopped trying to pursue people for love, or stop trying to get love from everybody, and I just started loving myself and giving myself what I needed all these years from others, people just were coming to me and were like, I love it, thank you. But I didn't need it. It was just extra. So I would suggest that you do the same work, because that will help you to possibly bypass some of the toxic love situation that I was worried about and get into something that's a little bit better for you, possibly sooner than the 7-year mark. But that's a great book to start off with. The second book I would recommend is The Soulmate Secret by Ariel Ford. If you just skip what I just said about the art of extreme self-care and you go straight to The Secret by Ariel Ford, The Soulmate Secret, you're going to end up with a toxic love situation. That's why I want you to do the inner work first before you work on connecting with others. Because if not, then you'll just be connecting with others, and that'll bring through all of that energy that may be based in old patterns, mindset, behaviors, etc. So just FYI. Okay. Yes, I am Sophia. Hi, Ferny. Will my husband and I be okay after the event that happened in our life? So I do feel that you'll be okay. I do think it's going to take some time. I actually think that the next couple of years are going to be up and down kind of period. I also think that counseling might be necessary individually. Maybe not together, individually, just because y'all each are going to be going through separate, with all of this, y'all have separate paths you're going to be walking, but it'll be parallel to each other. There may be a need for a little bit of time apart, because I do think there will be time apart, but I'm still thinking y'all will be able to mend and work through some of the issues, but it may take 2 years, okay? Milokim, I think that's how it says. Hey, Ferny, do you have any messages from my mother, Francia? So with your mother, it's funny because I almost feel like there's another France-sounding name as well, like Francesca, Francisco. There's another France-sounding name that maybe that she's referencing as well. She's doing this, so I don't know if you have a ring connected to your mother or you have her ring, but she's showing me a ring, so there might be a ring reference because she's making reference to that. She also keeps acknowledging the 20th, so the 20th of a month may be significant. It's either 20 or 22. No, I want to say 20th. I'm seeing that 20 number, so I'm thinking that's what she's going with that. She also, there's 2 children with her, so there might have been 2 babies or 2 children that were miscarried, lost, or terminated that are either directly connected to her or to y'all in the immediate family, but she's acknowledging 2 with her as well. She also keeps acknowledging that she might try to get your attention with alarms and with doorbells. So if you have weird experiences with alarms and doorbells, that might be a symbol from mom, because she's acknowledging that as well. She did show up in the dream, so that was her that you might have dreamt or had an experience with when you were dreaming. Okay. Jennifer Tran. Hi, Ferny. Do you see me moving away to a different state in the future? Thank you. I would say yes. It may not be right this hot minute, but I want to say maybe in about 4 years. about 4.5 years, I would say yes. I am seeing the Northeast again. I don't know where you are right now, but I am seeing the Northeast because I keep being reminded of like places in the upper area, like Philadelphia, Boston, like, Baltimore. Like I'm seeing those areas over there. So I kind of want to go out that way, or I feel like an opportunity to move out that way may come up for you. Okay. It's interesting because I want to say that the place that you moved to is kind of called like Aurora or Aurora, sounding name, but I feel like it's over there or near those areas. So I know, like, for example, because I used to live in Colorado for a while. Where I lived at, I used to work in an area that was called Aurora, where all the shootings have happened. That's where I used to work in that area. But I used to work in that area, so I'm remembering that. But then I want to apply it to the East Coast. So there's a place like that that's got a similar name that is kind of outside one of the major city areas that you might end up with. Okay. I was trying to fix right when I got on it, because I had my beanie on and it was like my hair was a hot mess, and I was like, oh crap, and I was trying to like fix my hair. I was like, screw it, I don't have time. I was like, I just got to get on here. Yeah. Jadziri Ramirez. My grandpa recently passed in May. I didn't get to say goodbye. Does he have anything to say? Yeah, so a couple of things. First of all, there is another date in May because he was kind of like duplicating the May in my head. So there might be another date of significance in May. So if he passed in May, there might be another date, like a birth date or an anniversary or another date on the 5, because he's making reference to that. He also keeps acknowledging thank you. He's drawing on my skin, so I don't know if there's plans to get tattoo in honor of him, or if someone's going to add something to an existing tattoo that may commemorate the family or him. So he's making reference to this as well. He's showing me these round things. I don't know if these are metals or coins, but he's showing me these round like metal things. So I want to say that there's either round metals or coins that are also connected or that may be significant. He also says that he says not to worry about not being there. He understands. He doesn't want you to be upset, to be worried about that. He also says he's actually tried to show up for you to let you know that it was okay, or that he was okay, and that you were fine, and that he loves you very much. If you've had any young children around you seeing something in the air or talking to themselves, it's probably your grandpa, because he's making reference to this as well. He also keeps acknowledging KK. He showed me the letter K, and I'm trying to figure out what it means. So I want to say this is like KK or K sounding. It might be a nickname, or it might be in reference to some KK. K. Like I keep wanting to say that. So there's a reference to that as well. Also, he there's some little like crackers or cookies that he really enjoyed. He's like, I miss them. He says like he misses whatever these are. So he misses these little crackers. Like, don't y'all have them there? It's funny. What they say. Going around here. Guys, if you ask, if any messages from a loved one, that is literally going to be, that could be several people. I kind of need you to ask me who you want to connect with, because during like a full live, if I were doing a full mediumship communication session with you, we got time. I got time to play with, and usually there will be 3-4 spirits that come through in a session for the most part. With these lives, if you want to talk to your grandma and I get another person, you're going to miss that opportunity to have a connection with grandma if I can get her on the line. So you got to be specific, so that way you don't miss that chance to connect with that specific person. I know some people don't like that. They're like, well, you should know. I'm like, get over yourselves. Like, I once went to see a medium in person, do like the whole panel thing. She spent more time trying to figure out who in spirit she was talking to than actually just talking to the actual spirits and bringing through messages. And I swear to God, I was never going to do that myself. And so that's why I'm like, y'all, I don't got time for this. Let's just get to it. If I'm right, the stuff that comes out of my mouth is going to match up to that spirit. If I'm not right, it ain't going to fit. It's somebody else. And so that's just the way we figure it out. So I always assume that if you want to talk to someone specific, I assume that's who's coming through. And for the most part, 99% of the time, that's who it's been. So just FYI. So don't make it harder for me to give you what you need or what you're looking for, because it's just going to add more layers to that. Arthur, Ferny, are I and my ex getting back together? I feel like y'all may go back and forth for a few times actually. So y'all may go back and forth or have more than one type of breakup over time. So I want to say y'all may go back and forth 4 separate times. So I don't know what number this breakup is in that you're in right now, but I would say that y'all may still get back together or have another shot by spring. Okay. Guys, let's get specific. I would like to know the journey with Juan. I don't know what that means, y'all. So you need to give me the exacts. What do you want to know? I don't know what that means, mama. So you're missing an opportunity. Tell me about Juan. What do you want to know? Does he have herpes? Does he have a broken tooth? Does he scratch at night? What do you want to know? Because I have no idea what you're asking me. You're assuming I know everything and I don't. So I need you to be specific, okay? Okay, so yeah, Rachel, Rochelle Rodriguez Huerta. Does my son Daniel know that we have been thinking about him? Absolutely, absolutely. Whenever we think, so here's the thing with them. I mean, we talk about a place, right? We talk about heaven and another place. It really is not another place. It's a state of mind, a state of energy, a state of being. And they don't have a body anymore. They're just pure energy. But their experience in that state is very similar to some of the experiences we've had in life. And so if someone's favorite thing to do was going fishing, that experience of them in spirit is going to have a lot of that similarity. So when they give us those details or they describe it, that's why, because that's the closest thing we can relate to, that we can understand what it's like for them. And so whenever we are thinking of them, the moment we think of them, 2 things happen. Automatically, your energy, your spirit, automatically, just by thinking of them, by who they are, automatically forms an immediate connection to their awareness. So they're aware of us thinking of them. And then the second thing is, if you start talking about them, you're basically telling them everything that you're thinking, or you're thinking. They're gonna get it. So they get the information. They understand, because every time you think of someone, you summon that energy. This is what we do in life as well. This is why some people, a lot of women have these. A lot of my clients, and I say women because most of my clients are women. That's why I say this. So I can say that. But most people who become obsessed with their exes or with relationships that are obviously not going to work out, they're like, I keep thinking about him. He's on my mind. I can't let it go. He must be my soulmate. I'm like, he ain't your soulmate, sweetheart. You just have a psychic bond. And what happens is, whenever people get into an intense relationship with each other and they start to interact with each other on that level, it starts to form an energetic connection between the two of them beyond just the physical body. So whenever someone leaves a relationship where it ends, that psychic connection still exists. It's still there, and it doesn't technically go away. It might lessen or become less obvious in time, but it's still going to exist to some point. And so if you're having thoughts about an ex for no reason, it's probably because they might be thinking about you, and the moment they thought about you, immediately it triggers your sensitivity of them, and you're thinking of them and a response, because your brain is trying to make sense of what's going on with this energy interaction. So your brain is showing you something you can relate to, which is thinking of that person or a memory of them. But it's not because they're your soulmate or because you're supposed to be with them. People always assume that means I'm supposed to be with them because I keep thinking about them. I'm like, no, you have a psychic bond. That's what it means. And so that's all it is. It doesn't mean anything about being soulmates or about having to be with them. But yeah, your son, but Daniel, yes, he does know that y'all are thinking about him. Also, he's showing me blue shirts, blue fabric. So I don't know if y'all have his blue shirts or blue fabric, or if there's some like a blue shirt that's got something on it that is connected to him. He also keeps acknowledging, thank you. You know how sometimes people, they'll have like little like birth things or birthmarks or little defects or whatever when they're born. For some reason, I keep seeing his fingers and I keep wanting to do this in the fingers. I don't know why. I don't know if this is a joke or actually something to do with a mark that he had or something that is connected to this, but that's the way I want to describe it. He also showed me the 8th. So the 8th of a month would be significant, whether it be the month of August or the 8th of a month as well. Okay. let's go here. People don't know how to ask specific questions. It's like, I gotta give a class on how to ask a specific question because people don't get it. They don't know. They don't understand what that means. What is a specific question? I mean, like, what do you want to know? Like, what specifically you want to know? But just tell me anything. No, I don't have time to tell you anything. Just tell me what you want to know so I can just tune into that and move on. No, but just, whatever you have to tell me. Ay, chinga, como fregan. It's like, come on, give me the specific question. NB Velasquez, should I move up in my career? It's your decision. I can't tell you what to do because it's not my place to tell you what you should or should not do. However, I do feel there is going to be 2 opportunities that come your way to move up in your career. One may show up in as soon as like within the next 3 months, which is really fast. What it reminds me of, which is why I'm saying it this way, is when I think of you, I keep thinking of back when I was at Starbucks and I was just like a barista making coffee and people were like, hey, you should be a shift supervisor. You should be a shift supervisor. You should go up to the next level. And I'm like, they have to deal with a lot of stress and extra stuff. I don't really think I want to take all that on. So I just said no to it. So the first time it came up, I said no. The second time it came up, I said yes. I feel the same thing might happen for you where you might have 2 opportunities to be able to move up. And I feel like the first one might be the one that you might say no to. And then the second time, I do think you will say yes. I also think that I would expect that by summer of 2023, you would have moved up within your career. Okay? Career or job. Let's see. Carmen and Johnny, 71. Any message from my brother? Yes. The first that he showed me hearts. So I want to say thank you. Whenever they show me hearts, that can mean a few things. By default, it could mean something that is connected to the heart or the heart system. The other thing it could possibly mean is something to do with Valentine's Day, or it also is a representation of love, but I wouldn't think that's what he's trying to say. Either he's talking about his heart or he's talking about Valentine's Day or February. So just FYI with that. He also keeps acknowledging, thank you. I don't know if he had, you know how some people, they'll have like glasses for different things, and sometimes they'll, like, I know people who wear more than one type of glass at the same time. I don't know if y'all have a picture of him wearing multiple glasses, or there's like a special glasses for several things that he's like being picky about, but there's a reference there as well. He also is, I'm smelling leather. I don't know if y'all have a belt or a wallet that is connected to him, but there might be something like a belt or a wallet because I'm smelling leather. So I'm assuming that's what he's referring to. He also may be acknowledging a picture of him when he was younger where he's missing a tooth, or there was a gap in the tooth. It looks like I feel like he's like I'm looking like at a child. It's almost like that energy there. So I'm looking at this picture. I'm assuming this is like a younger picture, and he might be missing a tooth in the picture and just smiling or being, goofy. He also keeps acknowledging, thank you. So what's interesting is I feel like hole. He made a hole in my body, and I'm like, what does that mean? Sometimes that can mean a few things. I want to say this might mean shot to the. I want to say this has to do with either like some rupture, like a hole or a rupture, or like a bleeding, or something that was like a hole in an area of his body that was a part of the issue. So there might be several things that are going along with that. Because sometimes a hole could mean a lot of things. It could mean being shot. It could also mean like an actual hole inside of the heart or something rupturing. But I'm thinking there's something there that he's trying to make reference to as well. Okay. Oh yeah, it's the book is called, the books that I mentioned are The Art of Extreme Self-Care by Cheryl Richardson and The Soulmate Secret by Ariel Ford. So those are the 2 books. I have them. I don't want to go look for them because it might take long and I want to keep going. But those are the names of the books. They're really, really good. So one's for self-love. The other one's learning to get clear on the kind of relationship you want to have in the future. Okay. Sarika, hi Ferny, when will my vertigo go away? I feel like it will get better, but I feel like it's going to take about 3 months. So it might take up to 3 months to to be mostly gone. That's what I would say, mostly gone. I also feel, that before that happens, I do think that you are going to get a couple of tests done, but I feel like it's just going to kind of get better on its own. So it might actually get better without you having to do too much. Okay. Luz Gutierrez. Derby, Ferny, are my dads okay? I need him to forgive me for not taking more of my time to be with him. So here's the thing. I mean, sometimes we go through stuff with, thank you. He says he forgives you. That's what you need. He says he forgives you. That's what you need. So he didn't even wait for me to finish what I was trying to say to you. Sometimes we get caught up in our own stuff and we don't realize that sometimes it's the little moments with people that matter. And so sometimes we don't realize it, or we may not understand that, these are moments we're going to appreciate or we're going to cherish, especially when they're gone. Even people who have a lot of time with people still feel the same way that you may feel. So I would not put yourself through more suffering and self-induced suffering than you need to, because your father is not having an issue with it. So I think that he wants you to know that you are okay. He is acknowledging that what is it? 12 or 13th? I want to say 13th. So the 13th of a month may be significant. Or January 3rd. He also keeps acknowledging thank you. Okay. He does say he was ready to go, so I don't know if he was expecting to go, but he says he was ready to go. So I want to say that he was probably dealing with some stuff before this happened, and he might have just been in that place where he was kind of ready. He is acknowledging also blue birds or blue jays that might be significant. So look out for funny experiences with blue birds or blue jays. I don't mean like just going outside and seeing a bluebird fly. I mean like you're like sitting there and a bluebird comes to the window and starts pecking at the window. That's what I'm talking about. He also jays. He also says he did come in a dream as well. He also says he's actually been like tapping you or poking at you when you're asleep. So sometimes if you feel something like someone's trying to wake you up and then you wake up and no one's there, that might be a sign from him. So look out for that as well. He's messed with your electricity. So if you have flickering lights and such, and there's no power thing going on in the neighborhood, that's a symbol from him as well. Okay. Let's bring somebody on because it's 7 o'clock and I'm like, wait, am I gonna bring somebody on? Okay. Friendly, you gonna bring somebody on? Let's see if we can. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, sweetheart. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What do you want to ask me about?
Two things, if possible. One, looking into moving into a specific house next month. And so I was just wondering if you see anything with that. And also, any messages for my cousin Mark.
You said the house. You said, what do you mean by, do I see anything with that? Like, you mean
Like,
with the house itself, or?
No, yeah, if it'll be, like move-in ready and work out.
This is is it gonna be like a lease or a rental?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you only being in a rental or leased house for about a year. So okay. I'm thinking you're only going to be in that property for a year. Are you looking to buy land or build or buy a house?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm thinking that the year after that is when you begin that process, because that may be a really good time, and the interest the property values are going to go down a bit. So it would be a good time. So at that point, I see you just jumping the gun and going to the next stage after that.
Okay.
So it'll work for the year. There might be a little bit of an issue with one of the locks or with one of the doorknobs not opening or closing properly, and you may need to get them to fix that.
Okay.
Okay.
And anything from my cousin Mark.
Mark. Yeah, question. Is there also a Daniel or Dan or Day, D-A name?
Yeah. Alive or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Who is that to Mark?
His uncle.
Okay. Is he having some health issues also coming up?
Yeah, he just had surgery today, actually.
He knows about the health issues with with the D name. So he's acknowledging that, and he's like, I know what's going on. So he's acknowledging this. Do you know if they have to go back in for an additional procedure, or they have to split it into two separate things?
I'm not sure yet. I haven't
Just,
gotten
that's
specifics
okay.
yet.
Just remember that I said that because they may have to have a follow-up procedure or an additional thing to happen for this to really work in his favor. So just FYI with that.
Okay.
With Mark, he is. I'm smelling smoke. Was he a smoker?
Yeah.
Okay. Was he a pot smoker?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm smelling smoke, so that's why I was like, I'm smelling like the weed. So I'm like, okay. He's like, he says heaven's like, pendejo. He says, oh, this boy.
That's like
He
so
says, like heaven's like a never-ending selection of like of like weeds. So it's almost like for him, it's like he's always high. He
he's
says,
in
no, dude.
heaven.
He says, no, dude, I'm literally high. Like he says it, I was like, oh my god. So that's what he's saying. So he's coming across in that way. He is showing me the month of April, so that could mean a date. Do you know there's a date significance with the month of April, January, March, or April, or the fourth of a month?
I'm not sure.
Okay. He's showing me that date or April, and then he's showing me two rings. Do you know there's a wedding coming up in April, or if someone's getting married on the 4th or in April?
I got married in April.
Perfect. He's acknowledging the wedding in April. So he's acknowledging that or making reference to that. He also keeps acknowledging, was he not there?
No.
Okay. He's like dancing or being silly. So he's like doing like, I'm like, well, dude, what are you doing? He's like, it's like he's trying to be silly. So he's like coming across in that way. So I think that's his way of acknowledging that.
But like dancing?
Dancing. Like he's just being so funny. So he's like doing this dancing bit. So he's making reference to that.
He was in a wheelchair his entire life.
Oh, that's why he's showing me that. Because he's doing this, like he's dancing and he's like trying to dance for me. So he's like making sure I can see him dancing for you. So
Yeah.
this is his gift to you. He's wanting to dance now so that he can put that towards your wedding. So he's just doing that as well, making reference to that.
Yeah.
So he's letting you know about that. He also makes me feel like he had felt the shakes. Do you know it before he passed? He was having weird balance issues. Aside from that, but also like the shakes are like, you know how like sometimes when your blood sugar's too low or you're like feeling kind of shaky? Do you know there was something going on with him before he passed like that?
He was complaining of like a that he wasn't feeling right, and
Okay.
I think there
'Cause
was
he's
like a
also giving
pain
me
in his
chills,
stomach
like,
from what I
cold.
understand.
Yeah, because he's also making me feel cold. I want to say, do you know if he had sepsis or he had an internal infection?
I'm not sure.
Okay, because the way he's describing it, do you know if he had been throwing up before he passed or had some vomiting happening?
I think so. I'm not
Okay.
positive.
Okay, because I want to say this is, you know what it reminds me of? Like, I wonder if he had something going on with his intestines or like what is it when there's like a rupture or something in the intestines? I forgot what it is.
Yeah.
But there's something, but he's like giving me this whole sense. The reason why I'm thinking of that is because I'm thinking of an episode of Downton Abbey where one of the characters, like, he had this issue and he like woke up. I mean, he like stood up and started vomiting blood, and I was like, "What is he doing?"
Yeah.
So he's showing me that. So that's what I was trying to figure out. What is this? But there's something like that he's making reference to. He also keeps acknowledging. Do you know if when he was younger he could walk or he was able to walk when he was younger?
Not that I'm aware of.
Why
I think
is he
was
showing me?
always.
Okay, why is he showing me an image of him with a baseball bat or with baseball?
I'm not sure.
Do y'all know?
He was never able to like hold anything. He was he couldn't use his limbs.
Okay, that's okay. He's showing me baseball. Do you know if he ever liked sports or baseball?
I mean the Astros.
Okay. There's something about this because what he showed me was he showed me himself with the baseball outfit, like the little leagues when the kids are playing baseball. He's showing me like kids playing baseball. So either he's acknowledging something he had mentioned once to someone that he wanted to be able to play or hold a baseball or play baseball, or he knows that someone just got their kids in a baseball team and he's trying to acknowledge watching the kids playing baseball. So that's the only way I would interpret that.
Okay.
So he's acknowledging that. Mel, thank you. Is there also a Mel name, M-E-L, like Melly or Melanie or like Melissa's only name? Melly.
I'm not sure.
He's showing me a nurse or like a medical worker. Do you know if there's a Melly or a Melissa name connected to like a medical worker or someone who was involved in his care?
There might be. I mean, it's very possible, but not that I would know of.
That's okay. There's a female with him, and he's acknowledging that name. So either that's the person, or he's acknowledging that the female is connected to the Melly sounding name. But there's a reference there as well. He also is acknowledging himself in a heart. So do you know if someone has a heart and then he's inside the heart?
I'm not sure. I'll
Okay.
ask though.
So it's either be like a necklace that's a heart with him in it, or like a frame that's a heart with him in it, or like someone made art with a heart and him in it. But he's acknowledging him inside a heart. So there's a
Okay.
reference to that as well.
Okay.
He's okay. He's fine. Um, um, the racers. The bed that he was in, did it have wheels or was it movable?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know about because he had moved, so I'm not sure. I
Okay.
don't know what that situation was.
There's an inside joke about taking his bed and rolling it down a hill or some. There's some joke about him, and I feel like it's like a joke, but it's morbid, but it's still a joke. But he's
Hmm.
acknowledging like rolling down the hill or something. But there's a reference there as well, so you might need to ask the family
Okay,
about
I
it,
will.
right? All
Okay.
right, sweetheart. Well, you take care of yourself, Mama. You be
Thank
good.
you. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate this.
Absolutely. You're welcome,
Have a
sweetheart.
good night.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye bye. All right. Let's see. I'm at time. I'm gonna do one more, guys, just because I did start a little late, so I'm gonna take myself a little bit over. Let's see. Queen Net, I just picked you. I'm waiting for you to answer. I just literally just, I'm like, let's see if she answers. And then I'm like, you're like me. I'm like, girl, I'm like waiting for you. So did you not take it? Did you not accept it? I just requested it too, Mama. I just requested it. Do you need me? I'm gonna give you a second to see if you figure it out. I don't know. You requested it on my little camera thing. So I'm gonna cancel it and then I'm gonna request it again, okay? So you might need to re-request to be a video guest, okay? So I'm gonna try it again because oh look, accept. Oh, there it is, accept. It said accept. Here, let's see if it does it for you now. No? Is it going? It says waiting. Invited. It says you've been invited. You've been invited to the party of the century, girl. So I'm waiting for you. Let's see. Oh, is unable. It says you're unable to join. So I don't know if you don't have a camera or if your stuff isn't working. I'm gonna try you one more time just to give you the benefit of the doubt that you were just pressing and getting crazy with the button. So I'm gonna try it again. Let's see. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Mama. I'm gonna have to cancel it. I'm gonna have to cancel it because I don't want to wait too long because these people they'll start sending me death threats if I don't pick somebody else. So I'm not trying to exit this world before I've received a Grammy. So let's go here. Let's
Wow.
Hello. Hi, sweetheart. How you doing?
I'm actually very well. I'm eating dinner with my two
Oh, hi,
kids.
sweetheart. Awesome. Well, what do you want to ask me about?
Okay, so like I had trouble getting pregnant for years and years. My boyfriend and I tried and I lost
Oh.
weight and I got pregnant and he was like, I thought it was so weird because these two are born May 2nd and May 5th and
Mm-hmm.
he's going to be born on my grandpa's, like close to my grandpa's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
He was due September 15th and my grandpa's birthday was September 13th. And I had like surgery in my eye. So he was like a perfect time baby because he saved the vision in my left eye.
Yeah.
I was like, man, is this my grandpa? Because he passed away and like we have this really messed up relationship
Oh,
with
yeah.
with my aunts and uncles and
Yeah.
they never waited for us to go tell him bye in Mexico.
Yeah. Well,
And
so are you wanting to know if your baby is
he's like
grandpa
connected to
reborn?
my son. Well,
Yeah.
not reborn, but like I
Yeah.
guess connected.
Yeah. He's not your grandpa, so he's not your grandpa, but he's part of hey, but he is part of the soul group. So he's what you would consider a soulmate or a soul being from
What
the
is
same
this?
soul. he's part of so he's part of the same soul. So it technically could be considered the same energy, but it's a different personality. So it's still your grandpa's still in that place in heaven, but it's part of the same soul group, just not the same exact personality.
Mom, who are you talking to? Oh, this really cool guy named Ferny that does really cool stuff for people. Okay.
Oh,
So,
well, and FYI, there is another one. So I know you're talking about one. You might have another opportunity for another baby.
Doctor?
I wish I was an eye doctor. I wish I was an eye doctor. I
because I tell my boyfriend all the time, I'm like, you know what? There's 3 boys. We're not gonna have a girl. We're not gonna try.
There's another.
But
yeah. There's going to be another baby. Give it a couple years, though. It's going to take a couple years. But I think there's going to be another baby.
Yeah, because I put that IUD in my arm.
Yeah. Oh, it don't matter.
I gotta wait.
You know what? I know people who had that and they got pregnant afterwards. I know people whose husbands had vasectomies. They still got them pregnant. So it's like one of those. Yeah. I mean, it's like the weirdest thing. Like, how did that happen? Unless they're not being, saying that. But I see another baby in a couple years. So there's going to be one more in about 2 years.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
And then one quick more question for my dad.
Yeah.
Was like that messed up relationship with his brothers and whatever. His brother always says like, oh, your mom hated you when she died. And he was like trying to get her to come over here from Mexico. So I guess any messages for my dad from her?
So any messages from your mom for your dad?
Yeah, from my grandma, my grandpa's wife for my dad. Because he took it like really hard. Like he got sick. I'm confused. You said, so you're asking about your grandmother, your dad's mom? Okay. And if she has any messages for your dad? Is that what you're saying? Okay, good. Yeah, because you worded it and I was like, wait a minute, I'm confused. A couple of things. Well, first, Rosie. Is there a Rosie or Rosa name connected to the family? Yeah.
Okay, because she's acknowledging that name as being significant. Here's the thing. She had a lot of resentments and a lot of regrets, but she absolutely loves your father. Absolutely loves your father. So the reason why she had that all that emotion built up is because she loves him so much, and that's where the challenge was. But your dad has a habit of lying, and she didn't like that. So she has a habit of like, so she wasn't having that. So that's why. So she's calling him out. She says, even now when I'm dead, you're still doing it. So she's getting on his butt. So to let him know. She also says he needs to go to the doctor because she says he's being stubborn and he needs to go to the doctor.
Yeah, literally he got sick and we had to push him.
Good.
Like I had to physically put him in the car
to
take him to the hospital.
Like if you have someone you're responsible for and you're going to have to deal with the mess they're going to leave behind, you drive your ass to the hospital. You have to. Don't let them tell you what to do. And so if you got to pick them up, drag them by their hair, you do it what you got to do. Okay? All right, sweetheart. Well, y'all take care of yourself, okay, Mama?
Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetheart. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. All right, guys. I'll be back in a few moments for our study group time, okay? I love y'all, and I'll be back.